pussies!
You don't get it, son. This isn't a mud hole.
Get over it, you psycho!
It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon.
I'm making a fucking police report on you, bitch! Psycho!
Hello. So I'm going to start off with nothing on the screen other than my recorder, right? I want to make something fundamentally clear. I'm going to try to address the cavalcade of lies in this video. I'm going to refrain from swearing and I'm going to refrain from saying anything mean because I want to make it very clear to everyone just how dishonest this particular video is and how dishonest this person is. So let's get started before the subject of the video, because I'd like her to watch it in full, and the longer it is, the less likely that's going to be. So let's...
I have been debating about doing this video for a long time, but within the last 24 hours I have...
So yeah, there's a lot of silence and pauses in this video. I'll put an icon up here for every time that happens, because otherwise we're going to be here all week with me just constantly saying it. But there is about a minute or two's worth of dead air in this video, I swear down.
Witness, stop.
Okay, yeah, just take your time, you know, you need to come up with all your lies.
Stalking that not even the person that's been stalking me and my ex-partner has ever reached.
Okay, I'm going to address this part. Stalking, in your quotations, is someone making response videos to something that you make about them. That is not stalking. When you are talking about someone and they respond, that is not stalking. That is a back and forth. But you have been tagging Megby, myself, Gage, and Adrastia constantly once every hour for 2 days. But that's not stalking behaviour. That's not crazy behaviour. Constantly tagging Mary in any random thing you can come up with to get her attention isn't stalking behaviour in your eyes, but making a video every time someone addresses you in any capacity is. Do you see the flaw in this logic? If you don't, I can't help you.
I have repeatedly asked Megby Rigby to stop bloody stalking me.
One thing, it's not stalking as established. Two, if you had, why do you keep tagging her in things? Why do you keep trying to get her attention? Why do you keep making content about her? I could at least say if she was making content and you hadn't said anything about this in months, you'd have a point. But 2 weeks ago was the last time you brought her up in video. And 2 days ago was the last time that you started a tirade in your community tab. And by the way, YouTube, thanks for giving this crazy woman a community tab. That was very smart of you. Well done.
She has a playlist of 45 videos, and by the way,
it's a playlist of most of the ones she'd done and a few that add context, as well as a few other people's perspectives on what's going on. You see, what that does is it builds a narrative which makes your narrative more believable, because if 3 people all say the same thing and one person who shrieks like a banshee says the complete opposite, banshee person is probably going to have the hardest time selling their story. That would be true even if what you were saying was true, but it's definitely not, so...
What kind of existence do you people live where you are obsessed with me?
It takes seconds to make a playlist. Like, you don't need to be obsessed with a topic to make a playlist about it. I have dozens of playlists on my channel. They take seconds to make.
Question your friggin' life.
Again, how is this not the same thing with you and Mary? How is it not the same with, say, Hatman and James and Adonis Paul and Letitia, James and Mary? You need to actually be able to explain what Meg B is doing with you, which is very tame in comparison to you three, and that's not a criticism, it's an observation. I'm not saying one way or the other how I feel about that but, sorry, I swore and I said I wouldn't, but it's annoying because the people you idolise and yourself, you do these things, but then you insist other people doing them are in the wrong for some reason, and it doesn't make sense. Your logic is non-existent. If this is stalking, making a video once... Hell, at this rate, she's not even made 2 videos a month, right? She's not made 2 videos a month and has done absolutely nothing based on you other than a couple of memes. And in all honesty, as far as the meme effort goes, I think I've made the most. But as far as memes go, that's like the only other thing besides responding to your crap that she's done. Now compare that to you, tagging Adrastia 1,000 times a goddamn day. Exaggeration, but it is a high number of times you've tagged her in every single little thing. Compare that to Hatman making streams on James Robert Clark every week for a year. And that's not a criticism, it's an observation. He'd agree with me that that's what he does, because he does. Even if it's not every single week, to the literal letter, it's still every other week. It's still almost every week for a year. And I'm not saying one way or the other, like I'm not trying to criticise. I'm just saying that is what he does. Adonis Paul brings up a lot of people repeatedly, and you idolise him. But Meg B's a stalker because she does the same thing. On a much scaled back level. I don't understand this. It's a rule for thee and not for me mentality.
Honestly. Yeah, well, Blissy and I have called a truce, so go to hell, Megby.
Have you though, or has she, have you just decided that you've called a truce?
Oh, Gage, yeah. Gage. Am I surprised you've got Gage?
Probably shouldn't be, given that, he's actually said a lot of on-point stuff about you. I like how she ignores Dr. Yoshi Yamamoto, because he actually is someone she's scared of. Same with Samich. Also, Samich has Adonis Paul's ear, so,
No, I'm not gonna... Oh, yeah, so you've got the person who's been stalking me and my ex-partner. Congratulations, Megby. Congratulations.
Who is that? Is it the Dr. Evil's Pinky? Because, I hate to say it, but a source is a source, it doesn't matter where it came from.
I'm glad you've got... I'm glad that you've got the...
Oh, why do you behave like this? It's strange. It's like someone who's really socially anxious trying really hard to stand up to someone, and they just sort of pathetically back down and go, oh, their recoiling in fear is actually something other than that.
Oh, another Professor Curious one, huh?
That's the first one, but...
Oh, you got Randolph Faze's, alt account. Congratulations.
I think at this point, quote-unquote alt account, Hatman, and several other people have said that it's not Randolph Vance, but you keep saying it's Randolph Vance. Go ahead. You look so smart doing it when everyone's telling you that it's not.
Donovan, you got Donovan's shoulder, so good on you.
I mean, Donovan, I know Donovan's a bit of a fruitcake, but honestly, it's not like he's not on point at times, especially when it comes to people like you.
Now let's have a look at all the ones you've done. Ah, Professor Curious. Another Professor Curious one.
Why do you keep saying that like you're surprised?
Oh wow, looks like I'm going to have to expose him on my community tab.
She did a fantastic job of that, and by a fantastic job I mean she just randomly took some things. I would say she took random screenshots of comments I'd made on my own video. I would say out of context, but it's not even like that. She just took them and said this proves something or something. I don't know what she was trying to do to me there, but it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Another, yeah.
Sorry, I said I won't make fun, but in all honesty, you can understand why I do, because it's a farce. It is an absolute farce. I'm trying really hard because I'm putting this on YouTube, and I don't want her to be able to say, "Oh, you're bullying me," but really, this is what I'm dealing with. It's like a small child trying to make an argument.
I don't care about Gage.
Sure you don't.
Gage associates with people who dox children.
You've yet to prove this sufficiently. Gage has actually proven the opposite, and you're still yet to show a single shred of proof. You also put people like Ronnie Vane, Mitch, who beats his mother, Ronnie Vane, who considers women being beaten up on camera a form of fetish video, and who's the other one? Jonathan Curtin, a guy who molested his sister. You put these people on a pedestal because they disagree with Gage, and you're here crying about people that Gage associates with because you say so. Can you do me a favor and not like shoot yourself in the foot? I like how half the thumbnails and memes I've made.
No, I don't care about Royal.
I don't think she cares that much about you either. I don't know what your beef is with Royal, because you're like, oh yeah, she's this, she's that, but I haven't found any real proof. I actually thought that like something had happened with Royal, and I went on Royal's Twitter and it's like completely calm. Like I thought she'd gotten into a big controversy because of what you were posting on your community tab, but I've heard that rumor about the sex offenders register before, and I don't quite understand because no one's been able to prove that. They just say it repeatedly like that proves anything.
Why are the majority of these two people you associate with, Megby?
Because they make content about you because you've pulled us all into this black hole.
I want you to stop stalking me. I want you, I want Gage, and I want Professor Curious to all leave me alone.
Yeah, you wanted that so badly, you tagged me multiple times. You know how I knew that this video existed? Because you tagged me in it. You tagged me in several things throughout that day. And I didn't want to respond to any of it because my in-laws were over. And I didn't want to, mess anything up to look at it. So I just didn't bother. And I put it off for like a whole day. Then I had work. And then I had a bunch of other things. And now I've got like a small sliver of time where I can actually review this. And in all honesty, I don't know why you've tagged me in any of it. It's a complete waste of time.
Oh, I'm going to deal with Gage. Don't you worry about it.
What, are you going to find some more pedophiles to send his docs to like you did last time?
Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, pedos. You're going to get a big package full of Gage's personal info because Neece Lonewolf loves you guys.
But let's have a look at you.
Now this part gets funny. I won't spoil it, but it gets funny.
45 videos.
Of varying people over years, but carry on.
You've got listed. Now let's show the people why you have 45 videos listed.
Because you are such a cancer in every community that 45 videos have been made about your behaviour. nearly all of them are about different things that you've said and done. One or two of them overlap, but most of them are about different things you've said and done over the course of years.
Megby.
Maybe.
No, because you're totally not stalking me and unhinged whatsoever.
Tell us some more about being unhinged. When you threatened one of my friends, you said you'd meet her and assault her and risk going to prison to achieve that. Tell me some more. Woman who randomly shrieks at anyone who says anything positive to Meg B, telling them to kill themselves. Tell me some more about how everyone who's not you is unhinged and you are the model of mental stability. Please enlighten me as to how that works. Now, this is where it gets funny.
It's up here somewhere because I was going through it last night.
It's not. Be nice if you had some idea of where you were going to start, because you don't. Why were you stalking your channel last night, Neece? That's a bit of a problem. I'll explain in a sec. For those of you who don't know.
I want you to see what has led to this unhinged woman stalking me on a daily basis.
Okay, now why this is funny is because in the last video, Neece repeatedly said this has been happening for 2.5 years.
It's been going on for nearly 2 years and I've had enough. I've had enough of her.
It went from a year to 1.5 years to something like 2.5 years. And that right there just proved that she lied about all that. Because when you scroll down, there's no mention of Neece 2 years ago. There's no mention of Neece a year ago. There's no mention of Neece before 7 months ago, approximately. 5 months ago, this one. But she banged on about the whole, this has been going on for 1.5 years thing for a lot of one of the videos that she did like last month. Now she's having to drop that because she knows she's disproven it herself. So well done. Okay, I'm just going to pause for a second. I'm currently on a very, very long pause and there's been nothing. Neece, could you, for the love of God, edit your videos? Could you please do that?
This is what has triggered this unhinged, mentally unwell woman into making 10. It looks like 11. I didn't know about this video.
I think it'd be 12 actually, because you false flagged one of them off the internet. Might even be more because I think you false flagged another one off the internet, but I can't quite remember at this point.
11 videos about me.
Okay.
11. No, you're not totally unhinged and stalking me whatsoever, are you, Megby?
Are you now going to make an admonishing point, pointing out that you're sorry for insulting Hatman and Adonis Paul and their livelihood? Because you're going to have to. Because if Meg B's stalking you because she made 11 videos, then those two are super mega stalkers, because I don't know how many videos they've made on several subjects. So you are going to have to get really, really creative with your I'm so sorry, Senpai Paul. I didn't mean to insult you and your craft. Could you ever forgive me, please? By the way, call me if you and Leaf go in the pooper. Thanks, Neece. Is it in yet, Lone Wolf?
This is why I don't make content, people.
You don't make content because your content is garbage and you're lazy.
Because this woman will not leave me the hell alone. And she's got her friends harassing me as well.
I like how you call it harassment, but we've not been tagging you in everything that we've done for 24 hours. In response to the cavalcade of stuff that you have said about myself, Gage, and Meg B, I've made 2 videos, one of which was about the community tabs, one of which about this. Gage has made a video, and Meg B has made a community post addressing the allegations. That's it. That's the height of it. Compared to what you've done, in comparison, it doesn't even compare. The scales would not only tip, but they would flip off the table with the amount of weight of things you've said and done in 24 to 48 hours. And before that point, none of us had said anything directly to you or even about you at that point since the last time you made a video, which was 2 weeks ago. I actually have been just binging. I've played through the whole of Skyrim for a week. And the week before that, I was trying to edit some videos together for Halloween. And I just burned out. Not that you care, but, you know, that I'm just explaining. That's my alibi.
Goodbye, Neece Lonewolf. Yeah, how many videos have you got after that, Megby?
How many videos have you started with, this is the last time I address Meg B or Gage or even me, I think I'm one of them, and you're still addressing us?
This will be the last time I address you fuckers. This also will be the final time I address anything about Adrastia or her fucking aunt. This is my final warning to Megby Wigby. This will be the very final time I ever address you, you evil fucking cunt. You evil fucking bitch. From now on, you want my attention, you come get it. You fucking cunt. This will be my final video for Gage the loudmouth, Gage the Doom guy, Gage the Jewish guy. Why do you need multiple channels, Gage, if you're such a delightful human being? This is the last time I address this little inbred troglodyte bitch too. Gage, how many videos?
I mean, I never fully have promised to never talk about you again because I know I might break that promise if I ever made it.
Have you got after that?
As many as you kept basically instigating.
Why did you make an Odyssey?
Because why does she need to explain why she has an Odyssey account? Like, I have an Odyssey account, for example, because YouTube has a really bad policy system. And I actually enjoy making content without some idiots who has no idea what they're talking about stepping in and trying to wrestle my content away from me. Odyssey provides that as a service. The only trade-off is I lose a lot of my audience. So I compromised by having half my content on YouTube and stuff that I think YouTube might have a problem with. Not even because it breaks TOS, because it doesn't most of the time. It's just because YouTube's bad at reviewing stuff. I put it on Odyssey. And in all honesty, I wouldn't be surprised if Meg B had a similar mindset, or maybe she just wanted a place to back up. It's actually a good place to back up your videos, because so long as your video's under half an hour, you can actually instantly store it on Odyssey. And if it's more than half an hour, you can just upload it.
Maggie? Is because I had one?
I mean, no. Because if she wanted to watch your content on it, she could without an account.
What you are about to say is something questionable, that nothing should have been done in Mary's case. You do not
You see this here? She is linking information that has children's doxers on it.
Prove it. I'm going to say this once, and I'm going to say it quickly because I've said this 1,000 times. Myself, Gage, Megby, and Darkstar, who was on the original thread, all combed the thread for anything of what you're talking about, even in the loosest of terms, because you seem to think that saying your legal name, despite the fact that you've put it on everything, is doxing you. We looked. Nothing.
She has been...
And also, it's your fault if it was there anyway. I'm sorry, it is. It's your fault. You ended up leaking that stuff out of spite and people remembered it. That's your fault.
to be taking those links down.
People ask you to stop fucking spamming them all the time, and you do it anyway, so why should anyone take your request seriously? But you haven't. You've asked them to do the impossible because you're like, can you please take down all the things that make me look bad? But the thing is, like, there's no reason to outside of it just gives you a sore bum. Because that's what it comes down to. It's not about children. You couldn't care less about children. At the end of the day, you would happily throw all those kids under a literal bus to get your way. If it meant getting if you could do that and then blame Megby for it, you would. It's like that meme where the guy gets shot in the head and then the guy turns around and he's like, why did Megby do this? That's you to a T. You're upset about that thread. Not because of the stuff with your ex, not because of your ex's kids, but because it makes you look bad and it shows how much of a nut job you are. So you need people to not touch it, but you know for a fact that that is not a good enough reason. So you have to make up a complete lie in an effort to try and make people stay away from it or not link it. You're trying to handicap your opponent by lying about their sources. It's a pathetic way, really, to get your point across.
But because she is unhinged and obsessed.
Yeah, you know, like not like you, of course. I mean, you just tag Mary about 5,000 times a day on your stupid community tab. And you used your Twitter basically to promote anyone that says anything bad about people you don't like, but you know, you're not unhinged.
You would rather children get harmed.
Will you shut up about this children getting harmed thing? Even if the children's information was on there, it wouldn't be used to harm them even because nobody would care. Like, I wouldn't like it to be there, and I think Megby and Gage and everybody else would say the same. In fact, I know they would because I've known them long enough to know that they'd agree. If what you were saying was true, that source wouldn't have been used or it would have been redacted. But the thing is, like, children are not in danger. These kids are not even probably real. They're probably in your head, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you wish harm on people on a near daily basis, so why should we care? Like, if anything bad happens to you, honestly, you have it coming at this point with the amount of awful stuff you say to people and threaten people with. You threatened my mate Git for simply leaving a comment, and she didn't even criticize you. And I do hope to God that you do end up on her doorstep and Darkstar answers the door. I really would love It'd be like that bit in Family Guy where Stewie Griffin drags the bloody trash bag up the driveway and throws it in the garbage can and then just dusts his hands off of that guy. Like, that would be it. That would be what happens. That would be the end of your life. That would be the final day of Neece Lonewolf, is just being chopped up and thrown in the garbage by Darkstar, who just goes back to, I don't know, watching some series or something, because it was such a menial task for him that he doesn't ever consider it a thing ever again. He's just like, oh yeah, I just took out the trash, you know.
Stop her obsession. You have been told, Megby, that the person who posted this is stalking my ex-partner's children.
Oh, well, who told you this? Oh yeah, it was you. And you're the least reliable person ever for information. You are the worst. Honestly, I think you're worse than Lance.
You have been told this from me. You have been told this from my ex-partner.
Can I point out that a lot of people theorise that your quote-unquote ex-partner is actually just you on an alt? And I could believe that, to be honest. I don't know if it's true, but I could buy that. And that's why nobody takes your quote-unquote ex-partner seriously.
I don't care if Gage gave it to you, because
No, she found it by Googling your name, like I did.
Gage knows the person who posted it.
You keep saying Gage knows this and Gage knows this person. She said this thing about this guy called Gene, I think, and he liked one of Gage's posts on Twitter, so apparently they're friends now. That's the logic of Neece. Gene liked one of my posts. I'd never even spoken to him before, but apparently I guess I'm in league with Gene now. It's the Gene army, man, you know, you can't escape it.
You need help.
Here's an idea. Have a point. Oh, never mind. I was going to say that guy screaming who looks a bit like Johnny Depp. Yeah, that's me right now. That's alright, take your time. It's not like we've got better things to do.
Where is it? Might be down here.
No, it's not, because it wasn't that long ago. You see, if you were actually paying attention, you'd know that.
So I want you to know how long this woman has been bloody
5 months.
non-stop.
Less than twice a month for 5 months.
Non-stop stalking me.
Non-stop stalking me, says Neece Lonewolf, as she desperately tries to find an example of said stalking. See, this is the other part. She just destroys her own narrative. That whole, this has been going on for 1.5 years. Where is it?
Oh, did you delete it, did you?
No, it just never existed, you idiot.
Did you...
Sorry, I did say I wasn't going to insult you, but come on. Like, actually, come on.
Oh, let's have a look.
God almighty.
Let's see. We'll see if you deleted it, won't we?
She didn't delete it. It was 5 months ago, and you're looking 2 years ago. Why are you subscribed to yourself? That's both sad and
Count
pathetic.
videos. Now we know there's 11. 1.
Wow, Neece Lonewolf knows how to count. Colour me impressed.
2.
Ha ha ha.
3.
Ha ha ha.
4.
Ha ha ha.
5.
Ha ha ha.
6.
Ha ha ha.
7.
Ha ha ha.
8.
Ha ha ha.
9.
Ha ha ha.
10. 11 videos.
Wait, where's 11? You counted one twice.
11.
I need a soundbite of her saying 11.
All because I said this to her.
No. Okay, this is why I made this. You disingenuous liar. You have made a video every other week for months, and every one of these 11 videos is her responding to those videos. Now, I'm going to put them on the screen and drown out this lie with the truth. But before I do that, I want to point out the obvious, that if you actually watch Meg B's videos, you can actually see that in every single one, she is responding to something different. You are a bad liar. You really are a bad liar if you can be disproven as easily as someone simply looking at the source.
This is my final warning to Meg B. Rigby. Wonder why. This will be the very final time I ever whoever done that, you leave me the hell alone.
You also failed to mention that you completely failed to understand the situation. And that whole comment is a mess because, like, I made a joke, Megby didn't get the joke, and you basically started attacking her and calling me a troll in her chat. Which is now my part-time job. I'm the troll in Megby's chat. I'm a bad troll. A really bad troll.
Or because I said, I can keep going all night if you want. I mean, I really got videos. She is getting her friends to harass me as well.
No, I've done this of my own volition. I've not even talked to Megby about it.
And Professor Curious engage you two are next.
I'm shaking my booty.
Oh no! My timbers are shivered.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! By the way, when I was quote unquote next, I looked at what she said about me. It was just those stupid comments I would say out of context, but that doesn't even sum it up. Out of context implies that it's got a message behind it and the original context isn't there. It's more like there's no message, there's no context. It's just a random text message. Well, random comment. It's like me exposing my mum by basically just showing a random WhatsApp of her saying, hey, I went to the grocery shop. I bought 2 leeks for £1. Do you want one?
No, I'm not going to be making videos about you. I'm just going to be publicly
Oh, yeah, because you're lazy.
shaming you on my community tab.
Shame. Shame. I so feel like Cersei Lannister right now. Shame.
But Megby, this is the last time I say this to you.
No, it's not. You're going to do this again in a month when you realise that people responded to it. You also threatened her with legal action, and you never followed through because you know for a fact you don't have a case.
You making 11 comments linking my personal information, my ex-partner's kids' personal information.
Whose fault is it that it was out there if that was the case? Yours. But that's assuming any of that happened, which it didn't, but you know.
Does not warrant you doing either of those two things.
You linking my partner's information and my information and their kids' information does not warrant you doing either of those two things. Neece, could you maybe think of what you're saying before you're saying it? Because you sound... I mean, you sound like someone from the Shivering Isles had just got kicked in the head. I mean, I have trouble talking too. You probably noticed that from this video alone, but good God.
Stalking and harassing is against terms of service.
So why do you do it? I like how I got blamed because you're on your last legs on your channel. Like, your channel is 1 strike away from being shut down. I apparently did that. Not you, constantly harassing people. No. That was all fine and dandy. But when I reported something, apparently, which I didn't even do, because I've not reported anything of yours, as I said... The only thing I've ever reported to a third party was when you doxed somebody's goddamn bank info and I messaged her bank to tell them that some crazy woman had made her bank details public information.
Maybe you need to get the living hell off YouTube.
Maybe you just need to get the hell off planet Earth. I hear there's a colony going to Mars, a one-way trip. Sign up for it.
If people can't make 2 comments to you without you stalking them.
Ah, your voice is ambrosia. I've missed that whole...
Fuck off, you bitch.
That's the niece I know and love.
Do you understand me?
I understand you're completely nuttier than candy bar shit.
Stop stalking me, you psychopath.
Ah. And then she banged hard. Right. Niece, do us all a solid and stop lying, because you're bad at it and anyone can prove that you're lying, but it's a pain to have to keep proving that you're lying every 10 minutes. Just get a grip. Maybe stop with a community tab. It's not for you. I can tell you that now. You are very much misusing the community tab, and you're using it in a way that is honestly ridiculous of someone your age. I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be fair, and I've tried very hard to be as constructive as I possibly can with this video. You have expressed a lot of unhinged behavior in the past 48 hours. You have attacked people for no reason. You are making things up about people for no reason. And you have made it impossible for anyone to retort. And when people actually talk to you, you see why. Because you don't understand the situation you're currently in, and you make an absolute fool of yourself. I think, in all honesty, Niece, just the internet isn't for you. It really isn't. And I'm not saying that, you're like, oh, get off the internet to everyone who disagrees with you. I'm not saying get off the internet. I'm saying for your own goddamn sake at this point, understand that the internet brings you more misery than anything else. And it's just not for you, mate. It really is not for you. Social media is not for you. You are too easily stressed, and you make your own demons. You live in a hell of your own creation. What you're doing to Meg B is disgusting. What you did to Gage is disgusting. And in all honesty, I'm laughing it off, but if you'd have done what you're doing to me, to anybody else, I wouldn't be happy about it. If information exists about your family, then the worst thing you can do is draw attention to yourself like this. The worst thing that you can do is harass people so that they end up having to file things on you to get you to stop. And the worst of it all is that if what you were saying was true about your ex's kids and your ex, it would be entirely your fault. You leaked that information out of spite. You leaked messages to your ex out of spite. And you have antagonized people for years, knowing that that information is out there and is connected to you. If you cared about those people, if you cared about that situation, you would not be antagonizing people on a daily basis. At the end of the day, they're not going to come for your ex or your ex's kids. They're not going to care about any of that. They'll go for you. You're the problem. You keep pretending you're not, and I think you legitimately have a hard time accepting that you are the problem. But you're the problem. You always were. You always will be. And I honestly don't know how long your idols are going to put up with you scaring off potential new members of their community, tagging them in everything. I mean, Original Owl has said she doesn't really like you. She doesn't trust you. I think, honestly, Adonis Paul humours you. Hatman's not been exactly subtle about what he thinks of you. Nobody is obligated to put up with your behaviour when it's detrimental to their business and their mental health and their enjoyment of just online entertainment. Gonna end it on that note because I don't want this to be too long, and it is, oh Jesus, well, at least I'm going to be able to cut that down to something like half an hour, but think about it, please. Think about how you have built a legacy. You have built a legacy for yourself, which is just frankly embarrassing to behold. And your desperate attempt to try and get like commentary communities and lolcow ranchers to come after people like me and Meg B, Engage, it's not going to work because people like you are what they're looking for. Silly people who scream over nothing. And that's not me, Meg B, Engage. I underreact to everything. Meg B's very, very normal and inoffensive. And Gage is a hell of a lot mellower than he was years ago. You'd struggle to make a single episode of Late Night on any of us. All three combined, you'd struggle even. I mean, what are they going to say? What are they going to do? It'd be boring content, so they're not going to do it. But you are skating on a very thin line with these people. I think they are just going to end up ostracizing you at some point. Honestly, I think they should sooner rather than later, but that's up to them. This is funny to me. Despite the lines you've crossed, I still find this funny. And I will not cross lines that you say that I will, because I don't. None of the people involved in this will. But one day you will meet someone who does. It will be the day will come when you won't be. It'll be that situation.
Professor Curious is a fucking spurg.